Okay, we are just getting started. We'll see where our featured guest is today, and we'll go through some updates. I know today is kind of a random day to be doing this. Usually we do this on Sundays, but this Sunday was a little busy. But welcome back. Let me see if Dawn is coming on today. All right, let's run through a couple of updates before we get started with our featured guest today, which is Chives. And I've known Chives for, I would want to say 6 months now. It's kind of like that type of, you're in the same group chat everywhere. He's talking, you like his comments. Not a true friendship, but I follow him. And he's been, I would say, consistent. You see people like posting flashy P&L cards, but here and there. But Chives has just been grinding. He's been consistent. Started from more not as experienced, but now way more experienced, and he knows what he wants and he knows what to watch out for. So I think his experience would be interesting for those of you guys that are a little bit less risk appetite. So I wanted to bring him on, and he's finally reached his 99 soul goal. And I didn't write. It's actually like, I think 0.5 to 99 soul. He's just 1 soul away from 100 soul. But I wanted to bring him on and share his experience on how he got here and the challenges that he's seen on the way. If this is your first time coming into this weekly live stream, I'm Rich. I'm the co-founder of RPS AI. We're an early stage startup building different tools on Solana, primarily focused on liquidity provision, market making, treasury management, all the fun stuff that people don't usually like to talk about or deal with, but we specialize in it. And right now we have a tool out there called Ultra LP. And what it does is it helps you basically look at all of your positions. And here is what it is. It's a co-pilot. Essentially, you have Meteora open on one side where you can open all your positions, and you can have Ultra LP open, and then you can provide liquidity. And while you're providing liquidity, you can just look at Ultra LP to see how well you're doing, how horribly you're doing, and make a decision from there. It's powered by our kind of data infrastructure that we built from the ground up. So even if Meteora shows you an error or something happens outside to Helios or some of the other infrastructure providers, you can best believe and trust that we're there to maintain accuracy, precision, and real-time data. So what the experience kind of looks like is you're opening and closing positions, and you can see how well you're doing in real time. And that's actually quite important. Sometimes when you're looking at the Meteora UI, you don't really know how well you're doing. Usually you think number goes up is good, but sometimes that's not the case, especially if Solana is just pumping or the token's pumping out of range, etc. So if you'd like to learn more about this, feel free to shoot me a DM and I will get you access to the app. Oh, we have our friends here. Don, what up, man? Good to see you.
Hey there. Sorry about that.
Hey.
Technical
Sorry to catch
difficulties.
you.
No.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah. No problem. Good to have you. I know this is kind of a random time, and I have Chives, our good friend Chives, in the backstage right now. I'll bring him up in a second once we're gone over some of our updates today. So how are you doing, Don?
Great. Weather's great. Everything's great this week. How about yourself?
It's good. No tsunamis around where I'm living, so I'm glad.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Have you seen that? Like, it's just like Mother Nature is terrifying.
Heard it started with the earthquake, and then like it was just from there. It was just like,
yeah. The crazy thing, I saw people still swimming.
Oh man.
I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to them? Anyway, um, so we're doing this kind of a midweek. We had a fellow featured guest on Sunday. He ended up postponing it, couldn't make it at the time, so we had to kind of do a quick switch up, and that's why we're doing the midweek talk. And I don't know if this time really works for everybody, but we're gonna try it out, right? And what time is it over there for you? Like 7 p.m.?
Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. Um, so this weekend we're going to switch it around. We're going to have Chives up first, and then we're going to have him talk about his story, his experience first, and then we'll go over some of our weekly updates. So yeah, welcome. Hey man, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, man. It's been a while. I think I noticed you in the group chat at least 6 months ago, and you've been active since. How you been?
Good. Yeah, I started off. My friend Ace had introduced me to like the DLMMs and everything.
Yeah.
But I saw like Razor was doing his challenge, and I got super inspired by that because I saw him making steady progress, and so joined the group chat, and it's been almost a full year actually.
Actually,
I think we spoke first back in like September of last year, so it's been quite a while.
oh, more than 6 months. It's like 9 months now.
Yeah,
Getting old. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, and appreciate taking the time. And can you tell us a little bit about how you got here, and what did you do before?
yeah. So my intro to everything, I've always been into trading since like I was really young, and I started off trading like small cap listed stocks, and kind of like really got into trading back then because there was a really good edge like shorting small cap runners. Like they would go like 300 400% in a day, and there's really good edge shorting them. So I started there, and I've had crypto for a while, so got into here. I was never really a good like perps trader or anything like that, and meme coins, like January 2024 was pretty easy to make gains back then. Everything would just go up. So but like around June of that year, it started getting harder. I didn't really have an edge, so DLMMs have been what I've been focusing on since then.
What would you say is the major difference between trading and LP and whatever strategies you're running now that makes it easier for you now?
It's just like I think it's a way deleveraged way to trade because I still try to treat all of the positions like trades, but there's just
What
like
do you mean by delever?
like as opposed to even though it's technically not deleveraged, but there's just like less risk, like you can set up like I almost always go like one-sided 95% of the time. I just go one-sided sol.
Yeah.
So it just eliminates a lot of the risk. Like I actually stream on like a different account on TikTok, and I try to show everyone like when a chart is going sideways, if you're just in that position spot and holding, there's like no advantage, but it allows you to just manage risk better. Obviously you can still get wrecked, it can still dump through your range, but yeah, just way easier to manage risk. So
better than just buying and holding tokens and hoping.
Always. I mean, not always, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I already know, but you've basically been doing this on and off, more consistent for the
Yeah.
last while?
So I told you that like recently it's mostly been kind of long-term plays for me. So I'm not like waking up and checking new pairs all the time as much. But like I'd say like from when we first started, like August of last year to January even, I was 90% quick plays, like quick as in like 1 to 4 hours. And yeah, I mean, but I feel like back then the feed generation was just way better. Now if you get into a pool, I don't really do many quick plays, but like remember how often it was that we would see like 999 percentage. Like it used to be like all the time, but now it's just like I don't see the fee generation. So I try to take more of a long term approach to plays nowadays. I've kind of phased
You,
into that.
it's funny because I talk to certain people, and the ones that have made more profits over time tend to be sticking to what you're saying. They're like getting to closer to whale status, while the people who have just started are getting even into shorter shitters for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And there are also people who are successful with that, but they're really good at that. And those are the only people that are successful with that.
Yeah.
So I think what would be really good for the audience to kind of get into, and we don't usually do that too often here on these live streams. We don't get a chance to kind of have a glimpse into what's real, what's like people's, how do they actually think about their portfolio, and how do they, actually manage how things go. Do you mind sharing with us some of your, what are your strategies, and what are things like right now?
Sure. Yeah. Let me try to.
You can just shoot present, and then I can pull it up on screen here. Let me know if you have any issues.
Let me just make sure I'm getting the right one. Okay.
For sure. Let me know when you're ready.
I am ready.
Okay. Did you still get those? Were there still some of those bugs?
Yeah. Like the portfolio, like my this is kind of like a secret nugget. If Will saw this, he'd be probably annoyed with me, but he showed me this pool like a while ago, and yeah, for some reason it's not populating. It says I have 2,500 in liquidity, but anyways, going back to it, I unfortunately closed out a lot of my recent positions. Like a lot of these aren't really in range. But I guess we can start with lore is actually a good example of one that has been successful recently, and I kind of go into the strategy here. So recently I've been focusing more on memes that have like real staying power in like the public eye, if that makes sense. And I missed a lot on like I faded like debt coin, I faded like worthless, which were all great plays, but recently like I'm looking for things that are present on like CT, like what's present on TikTok, and like we've all seen this image so many times, you know. So like even like back here, I was looking at it, and I probably I'm just gonna eyeball the range, but it was something like this, you know. And I was in it for a while.
Oh, nice.
So the common theme that you'll probably see on these is I just look for things that are like pretty bottomed that are decent memes. So it honestly was probably something like here. I was probably in range. And then maybe I got back in. But what I did do, and I'm very proud on this one because I don't often execute this well, is I held my fees from when I got out of the pool, and I actually sold like near the top. So this was a really good win for me. And then I still liked the meme, so I entered whatever range I'm in now, is something like this, you know. So what I really like to do is stay in these bottom coins, sell some fees on the bounce, and then if I'm bullish, it depends on the situation, but you can obviously hold for higher. Got really lucky on this one.
So let me ask you this: like, you LP'd for between eyeballing as well. I think July 14th to July 18th, let's say 4 days. And there was a good amount of volatility there. It kind of died off after the 22nd. Kind of just like stayed right there. So you mentioned you decided to exit it at around the 18th.
I honestly would have to go back at the soul scan, but I'm pretty sure I sold. I either exited the pool here or I sold some fees here and then got back in eventually.
That makes sense. I mean, it was pumping and you were one-sided in a good position, right?
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, funny story. Now I'm actually remembering what happened. The very first time I had my range set up here, and I took like the smallest loss. I cut my loss at the very bottom here. No joke. And whatever happened, I don't know. I got back in and ended up making it back, but I wish I had like an exact range. But this sort of price action is where I'll enter, and then if it pumps out, I might chase it up. Depends on the vibe, but it was something
So
like this.
you ended up coming out when it's on the bottom there, and I guess the fees kind of helped negate how much loss it was right there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forget how long I was in it. And I probably had like a 3 or 4 soul position on this, just
Hmm.
straight bid ask. But when I took the loss, it was only like a $30 or $40 loss at the very bottom. So,
I see.
yeah, the fees did negate it, and then it
And you
treated
kept the
me.
fees all the way.
Not at this point. I had misspoken before. I
Okay,
actually ended up just cutting everything here, and then
I see.
I had gotten back in, and it paid me decently.
Ah. Yeah, so like a lot of people are just catching runners of the day, right?
Mhm.
Something that graduates, it pumps, it has the initial thing. People don't really tend to think about looking at these things. Now, how would you characterize this? It's like you said TCT, TikTok. What would you
Mhm.
call this type of token?
Honestly, like more of a survivor token almost, because it did go to pretty low market cap, if I recall. Went down to 375K.
Yeah.
But I just knew that this thing was present, and obviously you can look at the chart and see that it's not like a straight rug, even though it does go really
Mm,
low. But if
yeah.
you set up your range where you don't get out of range, even if it's not earning you the best fees, um, I just like to stay in those, and I can actually go to some other similar examples and charts that kind of look like this if you'd like.
But like that's crazy. Look at the last couple days. Like what made that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I kept seeing the meme and so I'm trying to remember exactly, but around this point, I think I was in an LP, and then maybe the top of my range was like right here, the top of my range, and then I got out. I don't think I re-entered. I think from here on, I just held the fee. So I was like, I have you know, $90 of fees. If it goes
Ugh.
down to zero, I don't really care that much. But if it goes up a lot, I'll make a good bit. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, I've saw it a lot in the last couple and like CEOs of companies, public companies were posting it as just to make fun of it. So yeah, the cultural relevance suddenly exploded. And I
mhm.
think like how would I just looking at this, how do we find more of these? How do we get into more of these?
So I'll show you some other ones. Blob. Funny story. I actually had a guy at work, so I was asking him about. We can get into Boat Kid later. Um,
Okay.
let's hope. I have so many drawings on this from. But Boat Kid. I mean, we've seen this guy everywhere,
Oh, Bookid, yeah.
And I was in this like super super early. Like I think I actually bought spot, and I very very rarely buy spot. But I've honestly gotten like one of my IRL friends texted me and said, "Hey, is there a coin for Boat Kid?" And I was like, "Oh, I wonder." And I looked it up. There was one. And it was like right here. I was like, "Dude, that was like a
Oh.
really good spot." And then I stayed in range. My initial first range was these two blue lines. And I think I had about like $1,000 split between both of these ranges, 200 bin pools.
Two
Um,
positions
yeah,
split. Hmm.
yeah.
Spot.
Um, I think they're both. I think the first one was like one soul spot, two soul bid ask, and then the
Okay.
bottom one was two soul spot, one soul bid ask.
Okay.
But this thing like printed a lot. Like in this time period from the start of the range to here, I think I had made 100% on each of the positions. So,
Mhm.
and then I ended up selling most of my fees when it started breaking down. And then I'm sorry, I am like a long-term player, but I do adjust positions a lot, so it's hard for me to really tell you exactly what happened.
Mm,
But
that's good.
as it came up, I had some spot. I sold some here,
Hmm.
and then when it came back down, I just made a new range between like here and here, maybe something like that.
One-sided?
Yes,
One-sided.
yeah, because I
One-sided
like
soul, right?
yeah, because like when we get like moves like this on a coin that I actually like, I'll always try to take uh some off when it's
Hmm.
spiking hard.
Yeah.
But if I still want exposure, then I can just like wait for it to drop and then bid it, you know? So I
Hmm.
can still have some exposure. I'm not buying it straight out. Um, so
I
and
just
this
want
like
to remind everyone that it's a lot harder when you're doing this when there's no when you don't see the chart yet. We're doing a post-mortem. So
yeah,
what you're doing is actually very hard. People are like, "Oh, you draw lines. Great."
I
They
when
don't know.
I
You have no idea what's happening next.
when I stream, I try to like do it like this so like people can kind of get like a feel for what the chart actually looks like. Because like right here, it looks like death, you know.
Yeah.
And then
That's
like
more
right
realistic.
here, like if you get like a move like this and you see this big green candle, like it's gonna come down eventually, unless it's some crazy runner. So yeah, I like to wait, sell on the spike, and obviously easier said than done. But a chart like this makes it way easier because you can see the cleaner price action, you can see the cleaner volume, you know,
Mm.
and it's a good meme. So like that checks like all three boxes for me on a play. Sadly, it's kind of dying, and I still have some fees that I could have sold higher, but it was a good play and um, made good
What would you
money.
say your overall ROI on this was? It sounded like a four soul
Um,
entry.
4 or 5, 4 or 5. It was a little
1%?
bit over like 1100, I believe, with all of the when it was
Right.
all said and done. I think the first range I made about 800, and then I probably got like a extra 300 to 400 in here.
So what you're doing is a little bit more than just LPing. You're kind of trading at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and this is like a really good example. But you can also make money on charts that like essentially kind of die if you get like one relief bounce, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if you started LPing this like rate, if you started LPing it like right here, one-sided,
Hmm.
and the bottom of your range was here, you'll probably make money if it eventually comes down and then let's say it gets one more spike. Sometimes like if I'm in a position like that I kind of
Mm.
see it dying, then
Mm.
I'll get out at that spike and just
Mm.
obviously you're not going to get the big spike in price and you get to sell your fees into it, but you get a nice bounce that you can get out with some profit. So
That makes sense. I wanted to ask you, just going back to the left, back in history a little bit.
Mhm.
There were times where it peaked out of your range on the top, right? Just
Mhm.
like on the fifth, the sixth, right? Um, that's when everything's green. Everything's green for you in the position, and it's looking good. What makes you continue holding that position open? What gives you kind of conviction to keep that up?
um that's a good question because usually on a meme I don't like, um I would usually like get out. Like this little like dip right here would be enough for me and I would just close.
Yeah.
But I was bullish on it, so I left it open.
Okay.
But like anytime something spikes, like I'm pretty sure I probably sold some fees at this spike, you know.
Yeah.
And it just de-risks my position because I can stay in. I've already sold some fees, and then I'm just kind of playing it for some extra meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do this very often? I guess you have your Twitch. Like, do you actually like look through your trades and like talk about it, think about it, or is this just like because you and I are talking?
Um, that's a good question. I have been like streaming a good bit more, so I've probably gone over this chart like 5 or 6 times on
Wow.
stream to people.
Okay.
But it makes it a lot easier now just because I'm not necessarily doing like quick plays. Like back in the day, would honestly stay away from plays like this because the risk reward wasn't as great for me. Like I swear back in the day, like the fees were just insane. So I really wouldn't care what the chart looked like as long as it had volume, as long as it had like some attention. I'll just try
Yeah.
to get in, get my fees and get out. And I
Mm.
wouldn't really look for higher. Um, but yeah, I'm usually like I've probably closed like 4 positions in the past week, so it's pretty easy to keep track.
Hmm.
Now Will is the DGen now. Like it used to be him just doing long-term positions all the time,
Yeah.
and then I'd be doing like the quick positions, but now he's like always in something. I'm like, I mean, he's always been in something, but like I used to really keep very few positions open in Meteor, if that makes sense. I would have most the Solana in the wallet, and I would just get in, get out, sell my fees, convert back to Sol.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always in chat, be like, "Hey, I'm in this. Anybody else in this?" And it's always like the first thing.
Yeah, he's always in something.
Yeah. Cool.
But if you want to look at like another, like I kind of classify this similarly. I was in this.
Survivor.
Yeah, I guess. But like you see how like all of the price action is like pretty similar. Like they're just not dying.
Yeah.
Because like the meme, like this guy, you
Yeah.
know. And funny enough, someone from my work, I was asking him about memes. I'm like, "Have you seen BoKid?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I have seen that blob guy." Bro, it was the first time. It was and I know this had popped up on like scanners before, but I never even looked at it. I looked it up when it was like maybe like right here-ish, and I LP'd it, and it's just like another good play that doesn't absolutely rug because it has mind share and the chart is very healthy looking, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is like kind of like a hidden gem. While people are kind of doing crazy in and out strategies, this multi-day thing is more sustainable, and especially I think it's more possible with size as well. Have you thought about sizing up, or are you around the same level of risk?
I've been really skeptic. I've been really like skittish lately because like I just got over 100 Sol on this wallet. I think I'm at like 102 or 103 right now, and like I don't want to go back below. Like I was at 99, and then I got rugged on Chad,
Okay.
and I took a 4 Sol loss, and I was like so annoyed. I was like, bro, I was just close. So like, I'm just taking it slow right now.
Have you been kind of bouncing back and forth, or is it just like?
No, it's pretty
You're
static. I think I'm in. Dizzy is like one of the ones that just gives me like pretty constant fees. But aside from that, I'll get like a $40 here and there. But I do like on BoatKid, that was back here was like pretty abnormal size for me. And yeah, just because in like each position, just because I'm really comfy throwing size into like a 250 bin or a 400 bin, and it's kind of irrelevant now. Not that they made the update or you can make any range, but like I was fine throwing like 10 or 15 Sol in like a 400 bin, but like I just find like I've always found like I don't like 100 bin because minus 50% of a chart is not very much. You know, it can go down 50% in an hour or two. So, but like 80%, it only seems like 30% more. You know, but it's actually way wider just because of how, exponential decay. You know.
Yeah, so 100 band limits the how much downside exposure you're covering, and you're saying 50% is not enough. But we're talking about survivors, right? The fluctuation isn't. It's not like a daily runner where it's like negative 75%, because that's catastrophic. No.
Yeah, you're right, because like I would not be comfortable throwing that size in like anything else, and like even here, I'm a little bit sketched because like I had first opened the range here, and I didn't even have this bottom one set up, so. When it went off the bottom of my range, I'm like, shoot, do I like I'm bullish on this thing. Like I might as well just try to throwing a
Uh-huh.
little bit more in hope, and it works.
Yeah.
But like, I hate being in that position where I'm out of range. I just like I
Well, you
hate
didn't close the first one. You
Mm-mm.
just went ahead with the second one. What made you make that decision?
just the meme, honestly,
Okay.
and
You
the
you
chart.
thought it's gonna come back.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like you know, like I manage risk like really tight. Like
Mhm.
anytime, almost every single time I get out of range, I try to sell instantly. Like on like lore, for example, like I was barely out of range. I was barely out of range here, and it literally bounced like 5 minutes after. But like, obviously, I was a little bit pissed. But like, I don't even care because it's almost always better to just cut the loss than hope it bounces. Like I've probably got against my discipline like probably like 8 to 10 times in the career, and like every
Oh,
time it's really not a good. So I really try to
that's a
emphasize.
personal rule. So if it out of range on the bottom, I'm out. Out of range on the top,
It
stay around.
depends.
It depends. Okay.
Yeah,
It depends.
it
Let's see.
depends.
What about this one? So it's pretty much CTO'd at this point.
Yeah, I don't really know what the lore was. I guess it's like a useless kind of beta. And I usually try to stay away from like all of the beta plays, whatever it is. Like I didn't even like Chill House just because it was Chill Coin and or Chill
Chill
Guy
Guy.
and House Coin. I just didn't. I just like I hate playing like derivatives. But I don't know why I like this one. But like, do you see how it just had that little bottom look? I think
It has stuff happening. Action.
yeah, exactly. And it obviously has a big decline, but like it just hangs out. So
Mm.
I
Where
don't
would
know.
you? How
Mhm.
long would you say this will continue staying? I guess it depends on the mind share, right? Are you
Yeah.
tracking that? Like how
Um
would you attract that?
it's harder to do with like something like useful because it's not like a meme. But in terms of like the other ones like Boat Kid and Blob and
Uh-huh.
Lore, I just try to I don't know. I try to keep like an eye on the social presence of it.
You're looking at socials. Okay. What else?
Yeah,
Mostly socials.
yeah, just like it's like hard to put it into a science, but I just eyeball like I saw this on my feed today, you know,
Okay.
and like I've
What's
seen it
relevant?
like every day for the past whatever, and
Yeah.
I'm still seeing Boat Kid. This
I do
one's
see okay. Yeah.
this one's probably like who knows what will happen to this? It could keep going down, and we don't really know how long it will have that social presence, um, but yeah, it's just for me right now, and like it's changed so much. Like I never used to really classify my plays like this, but it's just seems to be how it's working out.
Don, I'm gonna let you jump in here if you wanted to ask Chives anything or talk about anything.
I'm actually taking a lot of notes. This is like really good, like strategies and everything. Because I like how you use big bends. Not a lot of people use like the 400 bins.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that when you opened up your portfolio and saw like a lot of bigger bins instead of 100 bins. You said like 90% of your plays is like one side soul.
Mm-hmm.
How do you what accounts for the other 10%? Like, do you just do like bid ask after that, or do you ever do spot in those? Like, what would make you change your strategy from that one sided soul?
That's a good question.
So I didn't necessarily buy this token. I didn't necessarily buy this token on my DLMM wallet. I did it in like my DGen Gamble wallet that I keep separate. But in this case, and I didn't even set up a range, but like in this case, I saw it like really early here, and I bought it. And this is the only time that I would set something up for the upside, and I didn't even do it there. Just I don't know why. I thought it would go like way higher. And especially back in the day, I'm trying to think of some good examples, but like Razzer used to make calls in the chat like, "Hey, this one's really good," and it'd be like really early. It'd be like 5 or 10 minutes into inception, and we see it's already at 1 mil or 2 mil market cap. It has like 10 mil volume. Those were the times that I would buy a little bit and go like two sided. But honestly, like it's probably closer to like 99%. I just go one-sided soul. And within that, depending on how close I think it is to the bottom, I'll set up the curve differently. Like, for example, assuming I wasn't in this top range here, if I saw it like right here, and I thought I was gonna bottom soon, I might go like 2 soul spot and then 1 soul bid ask instead of going 3 soul bid ask. Like, depending on how confident I am, I will put more into spot if I think it's closer to the bottom. I'm usually always trying to bottom catch, honestly, especially recently.
No, that's good. Thank you. And another question. Do you have like a mental stop loss? Like you said, like once it hits like a bottom, like out of your range, you just sell it. Is that always the case for you? Like it's like no emotion, just it's out of range. I gotta sell it. Oh man.
I mean,
That's good.
like I've said, like I've had some. I think I am able to execute that 95% of the time, and the 5% that I don't, I like always regret it. Yeah, I've taken some bad losses not cutting it, but I still like to think I'm pretty disciplined in doing that. Yep. If it goes out that bottom range, whatever happens, like I might watch the chart for like 5 more minutes, and then I'll be like, all right, if it breaks down like, X more amount, like I'm just selling. So, yeah, it sucks sometimes.
So the repeated experience and you making mental notes of those repeated experience gave you kind of this personal rule. And so far, personal rule working well?
Yeah. I think that's the only reason I've been able to grow this account is just solely due to the discipline of cutting losses. But I was kind of used to that just from trading like stocks for a while. Just because like trading small caps, they move super fast. So, and I usually wouldn't have a hard stop. So, I'm just used to that. I'm just used to cutting losses and living to fight another day. Like I don't know what my win percentage is. It's probably like 65 or 70. But like obviously we're all gonna take losses. But it's if you can keep them small and not get greedy, then you can definitely grow an account. But I don't know. I see people with massive size are like I'm just still scared to go. Like there are LP army members that are throwing like 5 figures, even more into pools. So I'm not there with I'm not comfortable doing that yet.
Right. So how much of your gain so far is with this kind of survivor style multi-day long-term plays? Would you say like 30, 40, 50%?
Honestly, probably only like 20 or 30%, just because I've started doing it recently. I was in. Will used to send me like some long-term plays, like MLG was one that I stayed in for a while. Like those like OG coins were good long-term ones that I'd probably have like 2 or 3 open. But honestly, like 70% of the gains probably came from quick plays, and
but that's a thing of the past now. Now we're focused on this strategy.
For me right now, it is. It'll probably come back to where like it'll be super profitable again. But I just like ever since Libra, I just have it, or Libra and the pump fund liquidity pool launch. For some reason, when the pump launch came in, like I just saw like a massive decrease in fees.
You're talking about last week where Pump launched his token.
I was talking more about like the Pump AMM that they launched
Swap,
back.
right.
Yeah, Pump Swap. And I think it's also worth noting. Will had talked about it in your podcast with him, but I occasionally come across like I call them advantage pools, or like they're basically just gold nuggets that print like crazy amounts. trying to think of one. There's like puppers recently. I think he had discussed that one. But sometimes you just find like pools that have weird rules to how their pools operate, and they just print like crazy amounts of money. And there's one called like Trying, back in like beginning of June, and like sometimes in those, like on a lot of those plays, I'll put in like 1,000 or 2,000, and then like 1,000, 1,500 profit. So probably like 20% of the portfolio games came from like random gold nuggets that you find once a month. And there's no way to really like track those. You just get lucky finding them.
You just have to be on the ball, I think.
Yeah.
Can you run me through your day? Like, do you do this every day, or is it between work and what does it take, and what is it like?
Yeah, I mean, I've been honestly more hands off recently. I don't really know what I've been doing. I've been like streaming and doing some weird stuff lately, but honestly, like back in the day, it was so easy. Like when we first started, I'm not even lying, I'd just go on deckscreener.com and then open every single chart on here, and just like it wouldn't take me that long. It'd probably take like 10 to 20 minutes. But like back then there was like, it was really easy to choose a coin. Now there's like so many, and they're not all that great for fees, but yeah. And then I also have a screener set up, and like I'm probably gonna get roasted for using Deck Screener, but I've just always used it. So but like
Yeah,
10K.
kind of boomer.
Yeah, I know. It's what I started on, and like I still love like the aesthetic, so I'm just gonna stay here. But like it is worth noting, like if I'm in something like really volatile and I'm sketching, I'll go to GMGN for the faster refresh of orders. But yeah, like if new pairs like 10K, 100K minimum, 40 mil max, 24-hour volume, 200K, and just sort it by age. And then I back when I was looking for quick plays, I would just go and look at all of the ones that had decks paid, and that was kind of that. But yeah, like for the longest time, I would just go on the homepage and just open each chart, and probably take me 10, 20 minutes to look at everything. And
these days, I think it's a lot more filters that you need to do.
You're probably right.
Yeah,
you're probably right. But usually if there's like some sort of runner that is lasting above 1 mil, I'll usually hear about it, in some group chat or something. So I'm definitely like a little bit more lazy now when it comes to it. But I just blame that on the quick plays not being as viable for me anymore.
What are your thoughts for next steps?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I think I want to find more plays like this, obviously, and then I'll probably start throwing a little bit more size into it. I'm happy at the pace I'm going, even though it's not like crazy. I'm probably right now probably like 2 to 3 soul per week, sometimes more, sometimes less. And like this is still just like the challenge wallet, so I'm not really. This is the only like active trading I really do anymore. I do real quick just want to go over this one because this was like considered a quick play for me. What RR? I saw everyone talking about it. Like here, it was like a little bit too high for me, and I didn't like how there's so much air below this little support here. And I literally looked at it right as it was breaking down, and I guess 1 minute is probably a better way to display it. But I saw
you were looking at it quite early.
Yes, I missed. Well, even on the run up, like this is not where I would enter ever. But I was watching it after, and I luckily just stumbled upon it, and I saw these 3 red candles. Like, dang, it's heading for the support here. I was like, this thing might actually like crack pretty hard. So, I caught this with, I think I only put in like 2 soul or something in 100 bin, one-sided bid ask, and
Caught
This
it.
is it was just like a perfect move. Like this is like
Mhm.
maybe considered a quick play because I got into it that night.
Mm.
I actually got out and sold right here, sold everything, sold my fees because it was at the top of my range. Unfortunately, it's still a great play, and I got none of this. But like I like things like this. Like Razor always used to talk about dump catching, and like that is still something I love because especially on a coin like this, probably not going to rug to zero, even if it has super hard, sell pressure. But I just like I like seeing the blood and trying to like time the bottom of it. And if it goes out of the bottom of your range, you just take the loss. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because that's the doom candle, and whatever happens after, it's got nowhere else to go. Still has some lock liquidity in there, so it's pretty standard. I think that's a very reasonable play there. It's just hard to time the top, really.
yeah, you're never going to. I swear it's easier to time the bottom.
Yeah. So how far bottom do we want to go for a coin like this? There's no support line below the doom candle. It's just like, I guess, negative 75%, I guess.
Yeah, you can on this one it was at 2 mil and it started cracking. I guessed it wouldn't go below like 800K. And that
Okay.
I don't know
Good
why.
guess. Yeah.
It's just like it's at 2 mil. Like these things, unless it pulls like a Chad move. Gosh, Chad, that was a crazy one. That was a crazy rug. But like those are pretty rare. Like you usually don't get rug to zero on like something that's hanging out for a while. But they do have these cracks and bounces, so something like that is a good play for me.
I feel like there's an experience factor where you've looked at enough coins and you've been in all of them for long enough where, if it runs to, and this is just an anecdotal, I have no data to back this up, is that if it runs to 7-8 mil and it cracks below its most visible support line, the lowest it could go is 800K, or you see that over and over, and then you develop this gut feeling that's like, okay, I'm gonna set it up 800K. Can I reasonably say this?
Yeah 100%. And like sometimes you'll be wrong, but just kind of like eyeballing it, like like a 2 mil coin might crack below 1 mil, like something like this one. But like if it cracks below 1 mil, it's probably not gonna have a straight line down to 600K unless it's like really being dumped by insiders.
Do you do any of that tracking where you're looking at insider bundling, those things?
Not typically, to be honest. I probably do less than I should.
But you're able to avoid it without those things.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not sure. I think it's just because I don't choose like bad memes necessarily. Like,
Okay.
the one example that like where all my previous thoughts got broken was Chad. I guess we can pull up that chart because it's just hideous.
Yeah, let's revisit the pain.
It's so bad, but like, I mean, everyone was LPing this. Do you remember? Like, this was like popping off in group chats, and like, bro, I left it. I'm in a 400 bin with I think I had 10 soul in a 400 bin. I woke up, my investment was $400, and I had $400 in fees. I was like, what the hell happened? Like, but like, this is something where like I actually like up to here it looks good, and you're like, oh, it might dump down to like 2 mil maybe, but like no.
Zero.
But like that's pretty rare for like an established token, So yeah.
So it looks like there's bundles. It has to be a bundler that killed it.
I have no idea what happened. I didn't even care to research it. I was mad, took the loss, whatever. I can give I know we're coming up on the hour. I can give one more example of this one was like crazy because I like this meme just because like everyone refers to Solana as like salami, or not everyone, but I I entered a 400 bin at this blue line, and I think I put in maybe 8 Solana and just bid ask the entire thing. I was in this thing for like a whole entire month, and believe it or not, it came down to here. I was barely offside on my 8 Sol because of all this movement. I was
Yeah.
only down about $100 here.
Okay.
I saw this thing pump. I either sold at this peak or this peak. It was like plus 100. I mean plus 1,000. It was like plus 1,000 on like 8 Sol.
Oh.
I have the
Oh, plus 1,000 on a Sol at that peak.
yeah.
That's
Is,
still half from all-time high, and you entered at high.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why like
Oh.
400 bins are like just crazy because you can just throw in the money and really not worry. Like, bro, I was in it from this point right here for a month. Yeah, my TVL was 871, and then
Wow. Okay.
just
Okay.
like it's crazy because like theoretically you shouldn't be in profit. Imagine you buy here like you're just so cooked, but
Yeah.
power of DLMMs like I get
It's the
one.
definition of deleveraging.
Yeah, I get one little bounce to here, and I'm up like over 100%. So that one was pretty crazy. I mean, it took a month, but
Yeah. No, that's you demonstrate a good point here, and that is you're in for the ride, and you're not just sitting on things. You're actively actively hedging against yourself through the fees, through the actively hedging against the token. So that's good, and that is basically a revisit to what you said before, which is something that looks like it's about to dead, but the dead cat bounce is going to take you back up.
Yeah, because like right here, I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Really? Can we get a
We've all been there.
bounce?"
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to ask you probably just 2 tail end questions. As one is, what do you see as kind of still the main problem with other folks and yourself, your own experience doing this? You know, on a part-time basis, chilling, hanging out, vibing through. What kind of is like still the major challenges with what you're doing, and how to get more successful at it, and what's preventing you from getting more successful at it?
I think what has taken my screen time down on this is just the change of how many plays were coming out. And like that's not really a controllable factor just because like I swear like October, November there was stuff every single day that was giving like really, really good fees. And maybe they still exist. I don't like the risk reward anymore. So the fee generation on newer pairs, from what I've seen, has gone down a lot. So that's stopping me from quick plays. And other than that, it's kind of just patience. Like I said, like waiting for a good meme, like lore. You know, this is actually a good one. And then I'm not like, you never really know like what kind of losses people take doing this stuff. So it's kind of hard for me to say, but like
What do you mean by that? As in other wallets?
Just because like even in like our group chat, like people like the people who frequent it a lot will discuss their losses, but like it's pretty rare that people are giving you like an overall portfolio view of their P&L. So people could be losing a lot. I'm not really quite sure like how other people operate, but I'd say like the number one thing is if you're letting a position get away from you and you find it hard to be consistent because you are letting your positions go out of range and you're holding them and they either go to zero or you take a big loss on it. Just take the loss when it goes out of range, because even if it's like annoying and it bounces right after, like you just will still be able to protect your capital. And if you're trying to grow an account, the losses you take are definitely more important.
It sounds like the challenge right now is really the environment, which used to print a lot of fees. Now it's a little bit less so, and maybe there's something else.
Yeah, and like I mean, we see like Will, like he still does like these quick plays, and he's really successful with them. So, um, I don't know. I think maybe my personality or appetite for it has changed.
Mhm.
But it's definitely possible to still do a bunch of different strategies and be profitable. I think overall it just comes down to not taking big losses.
Um, do you use any tools to help you do anything on the day to day?
Um, um, Obviously, your tool is amazing in terms of tracking P&L. But other than that, not really. I used
Mhm.
there was one like Solana or there's one Meteora bot that would notify of pools that got shut down recently.
Dialect? Dialect? No.
It was I don't know if you.
Navigator?
It was like there's like some drama with like the
Oh,
like that. Um,
okay.
yeah, that.
Just
Yeah, I
always
used to use
go.
that tool.
Okay.
Will liked it a lot more than I did. He would check out like everyone. I would just like see
Oh
them occasionally.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
talking about it in chat. He was like, "Hey, somebody should rebuild this because it got
yeah,
shut down."
yeah. That one.
Yeah,
That's about it though.
cool,
I'd
cool.
try to stick with
Vanilla
the
guy.
native Meteor UI right now.
Mhm.
Um,
What would make you? I guess we're all waiting for the 999s to come back,
mhm.
and when something else happens. I mean, Bonk is launching a few runners. I think CT definitely hypes them up. But in the case of actual runners, the last few good ones have been a while ago as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then like especially I'll say like if you were lucky enough to find like a random gold nugget pool like this one, like this chart looks like absolute crap, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, just printing crazy amounts of fees. And like if I find an opportunity like this, I'm more than happy to size up because they only come once in a while and it can get really sketchy.
This is really sketchy. It's very low liquidity.
Yeah, I mean this thing is dead now, but
Oh,
like
it's good now. Yeah.
like in I played it I think maybe in this hour-ish, like this spike. And yeah, I mean I threw in a good bit of size on this, and so like the gold nugget pools I'm always willing to, and like Trump launch,
Mhm.
I'm always willing to throw in like more size than I'd be used to on stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you look at the DeFi tuna? The tuna launch today?
I saw it and
On
then I
TV?
was like, I've never used DeFi tuna, so I didn't get an airdrop. So I was like, I don't care about it.
Okay. Yeah, I got a small airdrop from using them.
Is this it?
Could be. Tuna.
Yeah.
Maybe the Orca pool first because they're on Orca.
Oh yeah, this one has the most liquidity. It looks like.
Uh,
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But I saw someone from LP Army made a lot on it. I forget how much it was.
I think people lost on the pre-sale, which was unusual.
Okay.
And well, their whole thing was like after you buy on pre-sale, you can stake it for 100% revenue share from their protocol. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't do better. Maybe it's just VC coin shenanigans, and now it's in the right position. But I was actually very bullish it. It just seems like not a lot of stuff is happening to it.
Yeah.
Don't know if you looked at this, but anyway, won't take up too much of your time. I really appreciate you, Chives, for showing us and going through some of the nooks and crannies here.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have anything else that you want to share with us?
No, I will say that I'm still like I still get jealous of like the LP Army or Goose guys that they somehow find stuff like super early and then they're in for 5 minutes in like the first 2 minutes of the launch and make bank. Like I don't understand. Like they must have some sort of scanner, some sort of info, because like I've always wanted to, like if I could throw in some size on something like that. And then
One-sided 400 bin.
yeah, and I forget who it was. Was it Tux who bought the I think he had bought like the Pump Fund pre-sale. He had a 6 fig PNL on the pump launcher or something, and I'm like, that's just absurd. But yeah, I'd love to have plays like that, but I have not found one yet. So
have you tried some of those scanners, or I guess just use Desk Screener? Look at new pulls coming up.
yeah, I wrote down the DAMMs because I've actually hit a few good ones on those.
Okay.
But all I'll say about those is like, there's a point in time where I was like grinding new pairs for a while. I suck at trading new pairs. I tried to do a 1-to-100 Solana challenge on Axiom, and I blew like 3 different accounts, and I was like, all right, I just don't have the patience for this or something.
Yeah.
But I will say I would hit some trades early, and then they would graduate, and I'd be like, oh, this thing has a lot of volume. And then obviously it's like you're blind when opening a DAMM, but like if you see something graduate early, if you're early on a token like 50, 60K market cap, and you see it getting a ton of volume on graduation, like there's definitely alpha there for DAMMs.
By the way, now that they have this 1400 bin DLM thing, are you going to change your strategy up?
Yes and no, because now I can just go into 80, 100 bin, and then I'm probably just going to end up creating like the same range I would get in like a 250 or 400 bin. I'm probably rarely going to go the full 400 bin, just because that's just like a massive range. The rent is probably like over a soul for all of it. But I'm definitely going to be going wider positions in like the 180 bins. Like that's super, super ideal for me, and I was looking for something like that forever.
What do you think is going to happen using the extra bins with a lower bin step?
I'm not sure. I have a feeling that like people are just not gonna open 250 bins anymore or 400 bins. But I'm not really sure, because I've always had a theory that like 250 bins can print better than 100 bin, because of like the arbitrage between bins. It's way wider than like 100 bin, but I don't know the nuances on that, and that's just speculation. I don't know. I kind of predict like 180 bins taking over even lower bins, just because they're not as painful to manage, you know?
Don, you have anything to weigh in on this?
No, it seems like good strategies. I'm taking notes, like I said.
I think that the rental fees are going to change. Essentially, it's one rental for as many bins as you want. At this point.
Really?
Yeah, that's the whole thing of 1400 bins, less positions, one position to roll them all.
Huh. Wait, is it live now?
Yeah, it should be.
Should be live.
Can I
broke
just
Ultra LP, so it's live. Yeah. Just throw that in.
Wait, really?
Oh, don't do it now, but
wait. Let me see something.
So when I asked, what do you think is going to change? I meant by the fact that you could do basically 20 bin step.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's alive right now, because back in the day you could do this sort of deal. This is
it would open like a shit ton of positions for you. I know.
And now it's combined.
Now it's combined into a single position.
Okay, I'm gonna test it out because I want to see what happens if I do this. Because back in the day, I had an issue where like I was fine with opening multiple 100 bin positions, but if you did bid ask, it wouldn't keep the distribution correct. It would sawtooth like each position if you did bid ask, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it starts to screw up, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it does it still. I just opened a massive range.
We have a viewer saying it'll open multiple but that's not the point of the 1400 bins. You sure?
Okay,
that
so
true?
they have updated it. So it looks like the
Yeah,
spread is
single.
even. Yeah, back in the day it would open, like 4 or 5 positions, and
What's the negative? What's the drawdown on this? Negative 30, 40%?
94 negative
94. Oh, I have it blocked, so I can't see.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks good now. That's crazy.
So now, what do you think?
Um,
How's that
I
going to change
mean,
the game?
it just makes it way easier. It just makes it way easier because
Yeah.
I actually created like a chat GPT formula to break up a bunch of, like, if I wanted to enter a wide range in 100 bin, it might be split into 3 positions, and I created an equation where like the first bin would be bid ask, and then the second bin would be spot mixed with bid ask, and then the third position would be even more spot mixed with bid ask. But it was like
Wait, why?
just to create the same curve,
Oh,
because
like level it out.
yeah, back in the day, like if this was split in between 3 positions, it would be
Sawtooth.
sawtoothed. Yeah.
Yeah, to do Tetris.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought that was like the greatest idea. I'm not a dev or anything, but I was like, someone needs to build that, but they just fixed it, so no need anymore.
Yeah. Well, last thing, if you have any suggestions for all 100 viewers that we have in chat right now, what would you say? What's an opportunity that you see coming up?
I don't know. I guess just keep paying attention. Look for if you see a meme on like TikTok or Instagram or something that keeps popping up, just check to see if there's a coin for it. That's been like the best alpha for me recently. And yeah, manage risk. That's just the most important thing at all times, in my opinion.
Okay.
It doesn't even matter if you're making money. It just matters. It matters that you're not losing money.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Really appreciate your time, Chives. I'll see you in the chat, and let's keep in connection.
Of course. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
I'll see you, Don. See you guys.
See you. So before we head off, I'm going to go through some of our updates. And if you guys want to follow Chives on his journey, I forgot to ask him for his Twitch, actually, but this is his Twitter handle, Chives Work. He definitely works. And yeah, we're just going to go through some of the updates we have here. What do we have? So we talked about the 1400 bins upgrade from Meteora, and we kind of talked about what that really means. For those that don't really understand how this works and why it's different, I like to liken it to what's the picture I had in mind? I had an idea of showing something that kind of explains what it's like. It's kind of like a rake, like a farmer that rakes. I'm not a farmer. I don't know how rakes work, but there's like 2 types of rakes. What's the picture? Do you know what I'm talking about, Don?
I'm imagining it, but I can't describe it either.
Okay. Let me open it up. So it's like this, with a lack of better description. So 69 bins. You're raking with a 69 bin rake. It's got 69 teeth in it, and you're getting that much hay. You're getting, I don't know, 1 pound of hay per hour, whatever. But if you have multiple teeth, you can have these larger rakes. Imagine you only have 2 hands, right? Now you can take a lot more. If you have 2 of these rakes over here, you're getting 2 pounds of hay. But with this 2 hands, now you're getting 10 pounds of hay. Anyway, you get it. It's more efficient. It's because it's capturing a higher density of volume, right? Because the teeth are closer together, and you can capture a wider range of hay, which in this case is liquidity and volume. So that's me, guys. I like to give people really funky, dumb examples. On the other end, we've been here at Ultra LP been trying to work on advising different teams. And the thing is, now there's this whole narrative of internet capital markets. A lot of Web2 founders with great products, companies, utility projects, not just memes, are coming into crypto. And because meme coins are great and there's tons of virality there, tons of volume, but we always kind of look for something else, like the true use of crypto, right? We've been talking about that for a decade. And so with internet capital markets, you have all these like Web2 companies that are tokenizing, they're launching tokens. And these tokens are pretty much tethered to how much revenue they have, what new cool products that they have. Some of these are like healthcare, some of these are like farming, all sorts of different things. And so these type of founders, when they come to crypto, they don't really understand how everything that we talked about works, right? Liquidity, volume, price action, all these token stuff, right? So what I've been trying to work on with the team is advising these teams, because they have a large amount of tokens, and how they manage those tokens are going to make a big impact on how those tokens go. So for people who are trading these tokens and things like that, it can have benefits everybody if they have a better understanding of how this works. So that's one of the things that we've been working on, and a new blog coming out this week about token buybacks. This I think is quite interesting, because I think we've talked to 10 projects now of various different FTVs, from as low as 5 to 7 million to as high as 120 million FTV. All projects of all different sizes, and they've asked us, what's the best way to do buybacks? Because they see like a company like Apple would do a huge buyback, 100 billion, and they make a big announcement and things like that. Is that the best way to do buybacks, or is it more like Jupiter, which like burns 30 billion tokens? Oh, sorry, $3 billion in tokens during their Capstone Bowl event. Is it kind of a systematic buyback, or what we call algorithmic buyback? What is the best type of buyback strategy for their team? And this is really case by case basis. And I looked into Bonk, which is kind of like a big meme coin that's kind of expanded beyond the memes. Now it has like a launchpad, it has like marketplaces, utility, all sorts of things. And they've been doing cumulative buybacks over the last little bit. And I just layer out this chart on how things have been going. And the buybacks really started kind of pumping in around July. And you can see that it's correlated with pretty much positive price action, but also correlated with their market share. They would not have been able to do this buyback without that increased volume coming out of Pump Fund and into Bonk. And so, this is kind of one example where buybacks are bullish for the token. It's doing quite well. And you also have other examples like SNX, GMX, where those buybacks didn't really correlate with great action. The announcement might have pumped it a little bit, but it dropped very shortly, very quickly thereafter. So it really kind of depends. Another good Solana project, I guess, is Radium, and that's pretty much tethered to Pump's the Bonk ecosystem as well. And this is their daily buybacks. And it is, of course, also kind of correlated with price action. To this day, they've actually, as of July, the founder, Infra, has announced a $9 million or 50,000 SOL single-sided Solana liquidity pool on Radium for the Radium token. So what that means is, instead of a normal buyback where you just go out to the token, type $9 million, click buy, they're actually creating a single-sided liquidity at about negative 10% to negative 30% of the price. Don't quote me on that. It's about in the lower range. And it's going to be very hard for anyone to tank the price of Radium below 0.16. Because as soon as it hits 0.159, it's getting hit with $9 million, 50,000 SOL liquidity sitting right there. Basically 300 Spartans just stopping the gate right there. So that's their decision to do buybacks. And so we have like something that's a bit more like a systematic buyback, right? It's constantly accumulating. It's taking about 50% of their protocol revenue and doing buybacks every day. And you've got single-sided liquidity buybacks, and you have like the buyback and burn, which is more like Jupiter, takes a huge amount, makes a big press event, and it spikes up like crazy. Those are basically the three types of buybacks. You've also got like Hyperliquid doing an assistant fund. That's accumulating a huge amount of Hyperliquid at a very, very high net asset value. But the thing with that type of buyback assistant fund is it's managed by professional traders. And so they actually have a whole trading desk managing that assistant fund to make sure that it's profitable, but it's also doing the buybacks. So all different sorts. And these different sorts are good for different teams. And we're currently working out a system to try and advise new teams on how to leverage these different methods to do better buybacks and to help their communities and to help give them more skin in the game, for instance. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing that we're coming out with more research and data on because it affects everyone. Other than that, we are doing our on-chain liquidity audits for more teams right now. So if you have a project in crypto that's on Solana that's either launching a token or you are thinking about launching a token or have one, would like to kind of understand how the liquidity works with the token price action, how you could grow volume, how you can increase the market cap, things like that. So feel free to reach out to us. On a more of a technical note, we are working on integrating the new Meteora updates. So the 1400 bins that launched this morning kind of broke a few things. We're working on fixing that as soon as possible. And I'll be sending out tweets for that, updates on that in the Discord or on Twitter. So just be aware of that. When you're using Ultra LP, there might be some issues here and there. Let us know. DM me if you have like something that's a glaring bug, and I'll get right on top of that. So that's pretty much all of the updates for this week. We have on Sunday upcoming Yash, who's my good friend, somebody that I've been looking up to as a founder. He's an incredible guy when it comes to being hardworking. I'm a little bit worried about his health because of how hardworking he is. So that's Yash. He's the founder of Send AI, and you probably heard about it from the Send AI Solana hackathon. And they've been doing a lot of really interesting, not just crypto AI in the traditional sense, but like very new types of tools for developers in the Send ecosystem to help them build more AI things for crypto. So we're going to have him on. And he's actually really interesting as a founder because he's also a liquidity provider. So he understands LPing really well. So when I approached him, I'm like, oh, I'm going to teach you the ropes. He's like, no, I'll teach you the ropes. I know everything about liquidity. And that's how that conversation got started. So we're working with him and helping out, monitoring the Send token and helping advise that ecosystem as well as we can. So we're going to have him get his founder's perspective on how he managed the liquidity side of things, the token, what kind of challenges that they see and what solutions they're looking for. So stay tuned for that. We'll have that on Sunday, I think at 9 a.m. PST. So Dawn, we're going to be in it for another early morning if you're going to be around.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay.
The morning sessions.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like Friday night, like 3 drinks in. I'm like, oh, shit.
No, we got it though.
We got it though.
Now. We're used to it.
We got it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, my man. I will see you on the weekend.
See you. Take care.
Take care. Bye, guys.